Hello everyone and welcome to the very first video in the new video series Numbers Don't Lie, how to leverage data and assessment to enhance student outcomes. In today's video, I will be showing the 6 question types available when making a flex assessment. I will also show you how to share and administer that assessment as well as upload the material necessary to you. The first thing I want to talk about is the share option. So once you have created your flex assessment, be sure to share it appropriately. You will be given several options to share your flex assessment with your site and grade level, department, or perhaps throughout your district, as well as giving them the permissions to your flex assessment. So you will be granting them options to administer, to edit, or simply to view and download. After you have shared your flex assessment, you will be asked in which ways you want to roster this assessment, which means administer. You may roster it online with answer sheets. You may simply import it, grade it with a camera. Perhaps you want to roster it at a later date, or perhaps next year you're planning during a summertime or on a weekend, and you want to roster it later on. Now let's go to our flex assessment. You're looking at an 8-question assessment that I've already previously created. There are 6 question types available to you, 3 forms of multiple choice, and 3 forms of constructed response. I've included examples of each, and we're real quickly going to go over just some thoughts on student responses and allowable points and weights. The first 3 options you're going to see are multiple choice question types, an A, B, C, D options, a true, false, and then I selected all that apply here in question 3. The fourth question is a multiple choice partial credit, in which I'm giving asking students to respond with an A, B, C, D, E, and F. The way I created that was I went beyond the option choices that the system will allow, and I edited it to include some additional letter options. You're going to see here that I went through A, B, C, D, E, and I manually entered them, and then clicking this plus symbol will allow me to add other option choices. Question number 5 is a constructed response. Anytime you enter that question type, you'll be asked about paper options. This means what space the students will be allowed and asked to answer. The default size I've just listed here, and then later on in question 8, I will change that and show you that as well. And in this constructed response, you're going to see it's rubriced with a single point rubric, either a 0 or 1. I could change that and make it a 4-point rubric. I could change that to any type of rubric that I would like, or simply like I did with question 4, edit choices. Question 6 is a constructed response explicit. And in this example, best used in spelling tests, I'm looking for a specific wording or word choice from the students. And in this example, I want them to use the number 5. Perhaps I want them to respond using a complete sentence. In that case, I would type the sentence type that I want from them. They would have to exactly type this question or this response in when responding in this question. Question 7 is a multiple choice advanced. This question, I'm asking for the A, B, C, D, G, and I response from students, and I'm giving 6 points. But I'm also going to allow 1 point for A, 2 points for A, B, 3 for A, B, C, 4 for A, B, C, D, and 5 points for A, B, C, D, and G. Now, this makes sense to me because each of these options I'm going to allow a point for. However, perhaps I've talked with my team or my site and have decided that 6 points for this one question, when I've given 6 points for the previous 6 questions, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So this question is too weighted. I would then perhaps change this to 1 or 2 points, and then perhaps I could remove the other options. The last question, question 8, is a constructed response advanced. I've set into the directions to the students that this question is worth 40 points. I'm going to rubric it. So a 4 means 40. Students will be given 30 points. Perhaps I want to change this. So I want to change the allowable points. I want to go to a single point rubric with a 1, meaning that they will receive 40 points. No student in my class will fail. No students in my class will receive a 0. I'm a partial credit place. I allow redos and retakes. So for a 0, I'm not going to give a 0. On the rubric, I'm going to give perhaps 20 points or perhaps 25, making sure no student fails. In this example, a student did not respond correctly. However, they did show effort, or perhaps they did show some learning, and I want to reward them with points. At this point, I would go up to the top, make sure that you've added material. The system will ask you for a PDF or some other file type to include into your Flex assessment. And then following that, you'll click Done. You'll be asked to share and then given the assessment administration options.